Hello. So, a few people have been commenting on my videos recently that they wanted me to do a video about Astrid. So I figured, maybe let's do that. We may as well. So, Astrid, she's a marksman hero. She's also a warrior, so like I said, kind of like Elmir. They don't know if they want them to be a warrior or a marksman, so they decided to make them both. But says Astrid embraced the furry neck of her pet. Lucas didn't mind, before it could understand she needed it more than ever. It was only yesterday that the young woman's eyes were full of life, and now her gaze was stern, frigid. Everything they had to go through together fused their hearts into one. Right, so she is the Drommer Princess that's talked about in all the lore of the campaign. So her skills, she is based around Lucas here. So she does not have energy. She's one of two heroes who doesn't have energy. So every time she does her basic attack, she gains 17% rage. So six attacks gets her full rage. Again, that does not change that. It just changes the damage of the pet attack damage. This causes Lucas to transform into a much larger version. It takes no damage, but each attack deprives the pet of 7% rage. So here's the thing. Lucas takes damage kind of like a chump. Like, there was a time, long time ago when she was first released, where Lucas could kind of off-tank for a bit. I kind of think those days are long since past, though. Like I said, if they do Ascension for her, giving her a big buff to her ults, letting her accumulate, say, 25% rage or something would be good, but, and have, like I said, might be better. Astrid increased her attack skill by speed by 9 seconds. If her pet is in rage form, the attack speed bonus affects it instead of Astrid. The pet also gets this buff when transforming into rage form. So, this is kind of an interesting one, because, she has an attack speed buff. Right, so if like I said, if Lucas, this is a passive self buff, if Lucas is not active, she will be able to charge her rage faster. But if Lucas is active, she is no longer, like I said, the speed's on Lucas instead of her, because the only way to heal Lucas is for her to use basic attack. This ends up slowing her ability to heal. Like, this was always active on her, even when Lucas was in the ultimate form. This, like I said, Lucas would be more viable because he would actually be able to take more hits. Predator's Charge, this passive skill, like I said, lets her each consecutive attack deals increasing damage. And Tracker's Mark, passive skill, each of the hero's attacks marks the enemy hit with Tracker's Mark for 4 seconds. If the pet is marked by an enemy, the enemy is stunned for a short period. Right. So, if an enemy has Tracker Marks, Lucas can stun them if it attacks them. Not that said, this is not that relevant. You can put Mara as her patron to extend the duration of this. The main theme the Tracker's Marks do is it tries to strip Ode, but most of her abilities are single targets, so it's a pretty meh ability. Like I said, pretty much everything she has is passive except for her ult, which is Lucas. And then, of course, her artifacts, she buffs armor, right? So this is when she uses her ult. She buffs armor, which does help Lucas take hits just a bit better for the first 9 seconds, but really, it's not a big, like I said, it's just not enough. And then she has a armor pen artifact, and then, of course, agility ring. In her ascension, like I said, she doesn't have any ascension abilities, stuff to buff, how much rage she gets or something, would be good. If she had, 25% rage, or if Lucas did, did more damage or something. Right, those would probably be, the speed buff maybe applying to herself, even one Lucas ult. Those are the kinds of things I think we would want to see for her on Ascension. And of course, she's on the Marksman role. And she has a bunch of skins. So she has health, armor pen, physical attack, agility. You probably want to do armor pen, then the physical attack ones. Agility, health. She sits in the very back, so health is probably the least important, though this one is probably her best looking skin. That one's not too bad. Like I said, but I'd say this is by far her best looking skin, and Lucas looks like a rock. That one looks goofy, but the pet, but bunny. Yeah, those by far. Solar skin all the way. For looks. Probably the last one you want to level up progress-wise. And her glyphs. Attack, armor pen. So armor pen first, attack next, agility. And then health and armor, either way is fine. Doesn't really matter much. She doesn't have energy, so so there's no reason to try to sweet spot her or anything weird like that because, well, she has no energy. Sorry, we're going to guild. That's what I'm looking for. Not the guild city. I'm going to look for battle. So I did some sims. So this against Dante Isaac team. So we'll do this. We will show you here. Kind of see like her attack. Notice she has not even done her first big attack till like 7 seconds in. It took 7 seconds before she did her very first basic attack, and then she did her second one like 4 seconds in. But you're seeing she attacks quite slowly, so it takes her a while to get her first ult off. Like it's just like I said. I mean, the rest of this team has been ulting already. Sebastian's ulted twice before she got her first off. I mean, like I said, it's 100, so we took 25 seconds for her to use her ult because of how slow her rage build. That's why I say it should be like 25% instead of 17%. And note, every time Lucas gets hit, takes like 7% rage, which is also the armor buff doesn't really help him that much. Because I don't think the armor really helps him at all because of how it works. So it's like, yeah, so it's just kind of like, it's just a broken thing, and the ult's already over. It doesn't, like I said, so it's just really, like I said, and then she dies. Like, she's just not, like, the damage there is poor. Aurora did most of that to Dante, so, like, that's just, we had Isaac there. I don't know, I'm not even sure what the best line for her is. We used Isaac here, because that's kind of like, Quadrinity lines are kind of a go-to, but that didn't work very well. But let's try it with this Helios Yasmin team. Yep, no, it's... Aurora, again, I think is just kind of doing most of the damage here. Took 26 seconds to get Lucas out there. So this is actually going to be a win. But I don't think we're winning because of Astrid here. I think we're winning in spite of her. But, Lucas goes up to the front to tank. But look at that damage. She's way down here on the damage. Despite, like I said, Aurora, again, MVP there. Like, Aurora is pretty much one of the best DPS in the game. And she's also one of the best tanks in the game. Like, Aurora is quite literally overpowered. But this one we tried it versus the Corvus Morgan team here. This team's pretty good. But let's try this. So the only downside to the Corvus Morgan with the Holy Trinity is that there is no status effect, so there's not a lot of reason to bring in Sebastian for like a mage team. So you kind of let them get an extra hero. But we got the Aurora down pretty quickly this time. So we have Thea here, which I don't know if that's a great choice or not, but hey, if Astrid happens to get low life, Thea could help her build rage faster. But I don't think Lucas can benefit from Thea's passive. I don't think it works that way. Because Lucas doesn't have life. Like I said, yeah, no. Lucas doesn't benefit from Thea's passive, so that's also kind of a bombo here. Just doesn't work very well. Like I said, Thea works great with you. Not so well with Astrid. She's a great healer, though. But, yeah, and because her ult charge is so slow, and because of how it works, like, when Lucas is out there, he's tanking. It takes her forever to get a second ult up, so her armor buffing isn't even that significant because of how slow it is. So this is just her second ult for the fight, and we're already 55 seconds left remaining. So this armor buff doesn't really help much either. Because she's not able to put it out very frequently. But you can see the Thea's passive there. And then Aurora dies. So this is probably going to be a loss here. Like, she just doesn't have the armor penetration to get through the armor here. Like, Corvus, like, the armor buffs are just too much for her. She has poor armor penetration. And this is despite having Fenris Patron. But Lucas, though, weak damage, like, just weak damage, and he dies really quickly. Look at that, like, I think that was just her third ult in the whole fight. We're gonna go, look at this, we're gonna time out. She's only used her ult 3 times in the entire fight. There's the passive for Thea. She only got to use her ult 3 times in the entire fight. I mean, that's terrible. She did do a lot of damage over the full 2 minutes. Again, this is still terrible. Like, this is... You need more from your marksman here. Look at all the healing Thea did. People say Thea's not a good healer. Like, no, Thea's a really good hero. So let's try. This is time we try to Tristan to give some more armor penetration. Like I said, so Tristan works really well with Aurora. Like, this might be the best Astrid line, but I think there's better heroes to pair with Tristan. That's kind of why we're running her with Isaac earlier. Kind of do armor pen buffer. But Tristan, I think, might be better for her in most cases. Though Isaac is generally a much better investment than Tristan for many reasons. Haha, Tristan just hit for 200k there. Lucas is doing, like, terrible damage. Like I said, no, Astrid is just... Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't think Astrid's good at all. Like, even under, like, ideal situations, I'm not seeing... I mean, we're winning this fight, but Tristan, I think, is the one doing all the damage. Let's see. Look at that. She's 4th in DPS. So Sebastian and Tristan, they did all the damage. Astrid, like, is way down here. Yeah, no, this is, like I said, yeah, I cannot really recommend Astrid at all. I would say she's probably one of the worst heroes in the entire game. I mean, Artemis I can make a case for. Astrid, I cannot make a case for Astrid. Astrid, you should not invest in. She's a bad hero. I mean, that is my opinion based on... Like what I said, there's a reason nobody uses her. I'd never see her in Guild Wars ever. Like I said, I mean, there's a reason for that. That's because she's not good. You know, if they want to do some ascension for her, give her some... Right, like I said, give her some abilities here. We didn't even talk about this, but I said she has some armor pen and stuff, but it just ain't enough. Like, what she needs is some abilities, like buff her... First skill, let her get like 25% rage with every basic attack. Let her passive ability also affect her even when Lucas is in ultimate form. Like, I think those 2 things would make her a lot more viable. I mean, heck, you know, maybe even make her rage like 33% per hit or 34% per hit. Let it be 3 hits per ult. Like, let this come out a lot faster. Double her range generation, like, you know, but that's the biggest thing is her rage does not generate near enough. The other thing you could do is like reduce the amount of rage she loses when Lucas takes hit. Maybe instead of it being 7%, maybe it's 5%. But generally speaking, she should be able to use her ult more frequently or at least keep Lucas up longer. And because her ult, because of how Lucas works, maybe another thing that could be tweaked to balance her is that her artifact buff, maybe instead of just having 9 seconds like most heroes, maybe it could be tweaked at last 15 seconds or something because of how infrequently she uses her ults. Like, so make her armor buff last a bit longer. That could be also a balance thing. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video fun and informative. Thank you for watching.